Hello, moon lovers, and happy full moon eclipse in Sagittarius. The two tarot cards related to this particular moon is art, which is related to the sign of Sagittarius, and the Wheel of Fortune, which is related to Jupiter, the ruling planet of Aquarius. So before diving into those archetypes, the full moon is a time of illumination. It's a time where the things that were dark are now coming to the surface. So we do the practice of planting a seed at the new moon, an intention. And then once we get to the full moon, we get to see how that seed has developed and grown and blossomed in the last 14 days. And so it's a good time to see what's coming up for you. And then I'll explain the themes related to the archetypes. So we'll start with art here, which in other decks traditionally is known as temperance. So art, we can see that there are these two heads here, and then there's the two different colored arms. There's these two different colored creatures here. And so we can see that it is a melding process, right? It is an alchemical process. We got the cauldron here, we got symbols of fire, we got an incantation. And actually, we are in Gemini season. So the sun is in Gemini right now. And for me, I really see the link between the Lovers, which is the card ruling Gemini, and art. It really is this succession of the inner marriage, the sacred marriage within, of the divine masculine and feminine. In the Lovers, we see that they're still separate. There's the child, there's the adults, and we got, of the different colors, of the different, of the masculine and feminine. And we got our creatures here as well. And then in this card, they're really coming together. There really is this, this more fusing of these two elements. And so in art, it really is about this co-creation process, right? It really is this alchemical process, the process of taking two separate elements and bringing them together to create something new. And the big teaching in this card is about the surrendering to the other part of the creation process. And so we bring ourselves, we bring our vision, we bring our gifts and our inspiration to the table. And then we need to have this space, right? We can't just impose the way that we think it should be and hold rigid to that, because it doesn't leave any space for flow or for just the reality of what is. It's like we'll bring something to the table, and we're always co-creating with the universe, right? There's always other elements that are in play, and we don't know in advance exactly how that's going to look. So if we're holding on to this very specific idea of how it should look at the end, it kind of gets in the way of our expansive vision, which Sagittarius is all about. Sagittarius is all about the big vision, right? So if we don't have this peripheral vision, if we're very too focused, if we don't have this peripheral vision, we're not going to see the possibilities and opportunities that come our way that could really help nurture this vision into life in a way that is more rich and more fulfilling for you and all involved, really. If we're too focused on the tunnel vision, then we lose that kind of here now presence to the echo of what it is we're putting out there, right? And so it really teaches, yes, to really bring all that is true up within you, you know, to really have, to really bring your part of the equation as an offering, you know. And so when we bring that, but we remain open to the mystery, open to whatever it is that wishes to be co-created with spirit or with a partner, with whoever, you know, it's never just us alone. It always is this kind of like conversation, you know, it's a co-creation with the material world, with other people, with the universe, with spirit, with whatever. It's always this kind of like exchange. And so really surrendering to stay open, to stay expansive, to keep your peripheries on and open and connected to that, connected to the present moment, connected to the bigger vision, and more the guiding principles under that, to more the qualities and the deeper aspects of what it is you want to bring into life, instead of getting caught in the details, right? So really about this big vision energy. Sagittarius is also very much about, you know, adventure, and there's this like exploration. And when we're in that space, when we're in this open space of like, I don't know what's going to happen next, and I can't wait to find out what happens next. You know, it really is a beautiful medicine. Sagittarius is also an idealist. To just talk a little bit about that archetype. But the shadow side of that could be, again, getting too rigid on the ideals, or like holding on to like dogmas or beliefs or things that don't really serve, that so always remaining always coming back to this openness, you know, and that's a real medicine for this archetype. And to talk briefly about the Sagittarius Gemini axis that we're in right now. So Gemini, the sun is in Gemini, the moon is in Sagittarius. So with these archetypes, it really is about how we use our thoughts and our beliefs and our stories, you know. Gemini is a little bit more about the details and the day-to-day, and Sagittarius is more about the big vision, the overarching vision and big theme. And so finding a balance in that, you know, finding the medicine in both those ways, to not get stuck in one or the other. There's a time to focus on the details, and there's a time to open up, you know. And so right now, emotionally, the moon is our internal world, and emotionally, there really is this energy of like opening up to the possibilities and expansion about what the bigger picture, what the bigger vision, what the bigger story it is that we're involved in, you know, our connection to the whole, you know. And so we'll go into our other card here, and that also is a card very much of expansion. So the ruling planet is Jupiter, and that's related to the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune is a really big card in the tarot. It's about the cycles of life, you know. It's about the wheel of life. It's about the cyclical nature. Jupiter is also a planet of luck and fortune. But there's also this theme here. So we see these three beings, and so there's always this, you know, there's a creation process, and then there's a stagnation, and then there's a decay. You know, there's always a process that we go through. It's never always in creation. It's never always standing still. It's never always in decay. And when we resist any part of this process, it creates disbalance, it creates disharmony, it creates resistance, and it doesn't give space to the other very necessary parts of the process, you know? And it really is linked to, remaining open to whatever it is that is here right now, you know? And to accept and understand really that there's no way out of these cycles, and the more we resist that, the more suffering we're going to create. It's like if we don't allow enough destruction energy to like take away the things that we don't have space for anymore, then we don't leave enough room for the creative energy that wants to come in, because we just have too much stuff accumulated, right? And then the resting, the enjoying of it, the being of it is, you know, also a very important part of the process, the living of it, you know. So it really talks about that. It talks about the cycles, and like what we're talking about now, the cycles of the moon, the solar cycles, you know, even bigger transits that are going on with different planets. Like it's always cycling, it's always moving around. We are not static, you know, we're not static beings, we're always in motion. And so to just really understand this like really deep principle of life through the Wheel of Fortune, it can be really freeing, because when we get like stuck in a place, we can get in this like kind of, you know, mindset of like, oh my God, I'm here and I shouldn't be here, and or like I'm gonna be stuck here forever. And it's like just understanding like nothing is forever. The only thing that is constant is change, and that really is the deep teaching of the Wheel of Fortune. To speak on Jupiter a little bit in this, so Jupiter is a gigantic planet. It is the expanding planet, the planet of expansion. And so how we use the Gemini and Sagittarius energy with this in terms of the thoughts and beliefs and storytelling that it brings about is that to understand that Jupiter expands whatever it touches. So we can learn to focus our intention on what it is we want to expand, right? So if we're focusing our attention on you know, negative self-beliefs, destructive thought patterns, that will expand with the energy of Jupiter. But if we really focus on, you know, and again, using that Sagittarius, you know, bow and arrow, pulling back, aiming and pointing at what it is that we really want, you know, if we really use that focus of piercing through to get exactly like what it is that we want. Our pillars for me, like one is trust, one is truth. And so like if we're really focused on that, then that expands with the energy of Jupiter. So just understanding that these are all the themes that are involved with this full moon eclipse. An eclipse season is a time of release of old stories, a time to reset. It's a beautiful portal of time that we can use to really like release what we don't need and reset and focus on, okay, what is next, you know, using this really big vision, big picture energy. We can dream about what it is that we want to create next, you know, and staying with the big why and the big dream and the big desire and the big vision of what it is we want to bring into creation. So focusing on that right now and seeing what comes up for you. So I encourage you to write down anything that is coming up for you around those themes. At this time, it's really great to journal and to see, okay, what's being illuminated right now, and what's coming up for me around these themes. It's a beautiful practice. And the full moon is usually a time when we have a lot of energy. For whatever reason, I'm feeling extremely tired and I'm taking a lot of naps, but so usually the full moon is a great time to get into some kind of a movement or embodiment practice. So maybe after you journal, and yeah, let yourself dream about really this big vision, like dance that dream, you know, like move that dream, like create an embodied experience, like a feeling in your body, you know, connect to that feeling in your body. Where does it feel? How does it feel when you open up and when you expand and when you let yourself dream big and when you give yourself the permission to go into that space, you know, of creation and of expansion and of of being the divine alchemical creator that you are, you know, because we're all here to birth a really big vision. I truly believe that. So I hope that this guidance helps flavor your full moon eclipse in Sagittarius. Thank you so much for being here with me. If you would like to connect further for more of a deep dive, to get some more clarity on either what's going on for you right now with the full moon or just in general, I'm available for one-on-one tarot sessions online. So just follow the links below. I also post my free content on Instagram and on my Facebook page, which also will be below. I just love sharing all this stuff with you. I know that for me, really learning to tune into the moon cycles and having these practices of checking in, of getting the wisdom from the tarot archetypes has been such a profound healing journey for me. Such powerful tools to take back my power and to learn how to navigate all these different things that we go through. We are not static, we're always in movement. And so how do we dance, you know, with all the energies that are coming in, all these different themes, all these different dances that we do with these parts of ourselves. So I look so forward to connecting with you, wishing you a beautiful start to the eclipse season and so much love.